One of the reasons why we decided to start this project is, being residents of Thorncliffe Park ourselves, we noticed that there was a lot of food injustice in the community. These spaces used to be farmland. The soil nutrition depletes and the quality of the soil depletes. It's really known for being a landing community for new immigrants.
Oh, he's here. We are here. I came with him 26 years ago.
So my name is Michelle Delaney, and I'm a co-founder of Thorncliffe Park Urban Farmers, which is a resident-led community group, and our mandate is to tackle food security issues in Thorncliffe Park.
My name is Zara Ahmed. I'm in grade 10 and I work here for a summer job. We are at a safe place. This is the 71 Garden. This is a very important piece of the community. Many people come here, adults, elders, children, toddlers, they all come here to help out. They all come here to talk.
My name is Muhammad Amin. We are here at 53 Thorncliffe Park Drive, Toronto, Ontario. This is the back side of the building. Is a community garden here.
We noticed that the local stores were not selling locally grown food. There was no option to buy even organic food at the time. And we thought, we're a big community here, and that we have to leave our community to go get these things. And we live in a world-class city. It's mind-blowing. Our neighbors are getting corn that's grown right here in our backyard, rather than somewhere even from up north. When you live low income and you have 4 or 5 children at home, the last thing you're going to do is spend $5 maybe for your own personal health, because your kids probably need cereal more than you need kale. So here they're able to take home some kale for no cost, and they're able to empower their own well-being.
Callaloo, it's a form of vegetable.
Like spinach.
Spinach.
And I love the callaloo because my iron is
Yes,
low.
good for iron.
And so it's good for iron.
When we designed this particular space, we took everything down to the ground. We tilled the whole entire land, and then we set up what is going to be our walkways, and then we set up what's going to be our areas for planting. The gardens are graciously supported by Summer Lunch Plus and the landlords of the properties, as well as Toronto Foundation and Grand Trees. Having investment and support is the foundation to our success. I think without having the support of a not-for-profit behind me, I'm not sure how far I would have gotten. Runs up one side of the garden and one that runs up the other side of the garden. We learn how to garden, how to grow food organically. We learn how to pest manage organically, so we're not continuously adding pesticides and having runoff go into our valleys and our water systems. And it's quite possible to grow food organically very successfully. We do make a big impact because we're growing a ton of food every year that we give out to the community, and that's a ton of food that's not being imported through a truck. In the gardens, we grow everything from a variety of herbs, tomatoes, potatoes, garlic, carrot, turnip, kohlrabi, cabbage, corn. We grow things that are culturally appropriate for our ethnic communities, such as callaloo for our Caribbean people. We have some amaranth, which is laksha for our South Asian people.
And if there's nobody, still we can bring our kids at here, and it's good. We can eat different, especially our country food also.
Yeah.
So we all very crazy for that.
Things are difficult for them to find in the grocery store, and they're also expensive for them. So here they're able to grow it. It also tastes way better if they could find it in the grocery store. And they're able to bring it home for their families. So our gardens impact a lot of people, but I would say on average we probably give harvest shares to at least 50 families every season. Thorncliffe Park is one of the communities of Toronto that has the highest number of children in one community. And so when we teach our children to grow food, we're helping the next generation as well, because these are skills that are dying out. So it has a spreading out effect.
I love how everybody can just come and just, grab different types of vegetables. And I love how, a lot of people just, come here and we can all just work together, and how it's always a fun place.
I think there's a really important food security part of it in helping our community have access to fresh food, and just being involved in that whole process.
The average farmer here in Canada is over the age of 60, and they're concerned about who's going to fill this gap, right? So, when we start to teach our children that growing food is a skill, and it's a skill that they can achieve, and you develop that love of growing food into them, then hopefully, we're going to inspire the next generations of growers, and we can close this generation gap, this farmer gap that we're experiencing here in Canada. So this year, Thorncliffe Park Urban Farmers has expanded into creating a pollinator garden. And through that process, I really started to realize just how many invasive species are in our green spaces, and especially in the Don Valley. So our pollinators also need proper habitats as well. So helping to restore and create spaces for them also in turn just helps us, and also helps the global climate crisis. We find sometimes actually we could have a whole bunch of cucumber flowers and nothing starting to bud. Right. And the reason being is because we're lacking pollinators, we're lacking bees in our garden spaces. They suffer a loss of habitat all the time from development, and again from invasive species just continuing to take over the green spaces. So everything is a circle with each other, and everything has a relationship with each other. So we're either having good relationships or we're having bad relationships. So I envision raised beds beside bus stops where people can get off the bus and harvest some herbs, or take a pepper or some kale, and they can take that home with them. I envision more pollinator gardens, and having spaces where we can educate about native plants, we can educate about invasive species, and doing more internships in the garden spaces. I think about providing opportunity for at-risk youth, helping them gain skills and employment opportunities within their own communities so they don't have to necessarily leave. I think about when our trees will mature and how much food that we will have being produced from our spaces, and the impact that all of this is really going to have on our community in the near future.